Great way to finish first semester, and that was kind of the message we had leading in, was finish. Our guys just played great basketball today. I thought we played really well. This is a dangerous team, very talented, very athletic. They showed flashes of why they're 10-3, but I just thought our guys played at a high level. And we had a few too many turnovers. That was the only thing that I didn't like, but our defense was really good in a lot of ways and challenged most shots, rebounded it well against a good rebounding team, kept them out of transition. And, again, I think offensively we was really good to see some guys like Clyde make shots and David Scarr make shots. And, Gabe, unfortunately, was in foul trouble. Dante was great, double-double, and then tremendous leadership. I thought the last 2 days he's been just really echoing a lot of the things I've talked about to the team, and that's been really good to see. So couldn't be more pleased with the way we played, the approach of our team. It's almost a little bad that we're heading into break. We're kind of playing really good basketball now. You'd almost rather keep playing, but we'll enjoy the days off, and that'll probably be good for our guys too.
Can you talk about the chemistry of this team and how, like today was a great example, you get a couple big wins, and this is the time to have a letdown if you're going to have one, but they came out and just were business-like from the start.
Yeah, we talked about it, obviously, and there have been some upsets, and so we mentioned some of those things and just how, this is a hard time of year for players. I think kind of right before Christmas, right after Christmas, when campus is empty and you can feel a little sorry for yourself with how hard you have, how much time you got to put in, not as much excitement going on. Those are hard times a year for players, and thankfully, we have an older group that approached this game the right way. We prepared well, and because of that, we played well. And it wasn't even a game where Gabe and Marquise really got tremendous rhythm, but I thought the other guys played at a pretty high level, and then those guys were opportunistic in the minutes they played.
Coach, this was David's third game back. He'd been gradually increasing his minutes. It had to be good to see him start off. He was 3 for 3 from the field in the first half, 2 for 2 from 3.
Well, it's good, yeah. And David just wants to be a part of a good team, and he's all about winning. And obviously with Gabe in foul trouble, that helped give him a few more minutes today, and he took advantage. He's a guy that can do a lot of different things. He can make a three. I've talked about that. I think everybody thinks because we talk about him being a good defender that he can't ever play offense. He's a good player. And he's a guy that cares about defending and cares about being involved in all the plays. And so it's nice to see him rewarded by making a couple threes, but he's had an impact in the other 2 games without scoring that much. So happy for him, and certainly think he's going to have a big role in our future.
You really talked about improving defense all off season. Are you where you want to be at this point? Are you finally starting to see?
Well, we're better in certain ways for sure. I think our guys are really trying hard. We still have some limitations like a lot of teams do, but guys are giving us good effort most of the time. I think we have pretty good focus and attention to detail. We had a few breakdowns today, but by and large, I'm obviously very pleased. Our last 2 games, I think we defended very well, and there were portions of the Florida game where I thought we guarded really well. Not as many minutes as the last 2, but in a couple of winning time plays, I thought our defense was really, really good in the Florida game. So, it's something we just got to constantly stick with, work at. But yeah, I'm pleased with how we've approached things so far in the first semester.
You're 11-1 in non-conference play. Now, what can you do to make sure you keep this momentum going as you get into the ACC stuff?
It's hard. Guys, we're going to be gone for 3 days, and we won't practice again until the 27th, come back on the night of the 26th. It's a little bit unfortunate because we are rolling so good that you're going to have to kind of stop and start, but that's just what it is. Obviously now we know that, there'll be an uptick in competition again. It's going to be a great league with tremendous players and coaching, and we just got to focus on ourselves. We just got to be extremely prepared, come and want to work every day, continue to be committed to one another, and care enough about the guy next to you that you want to sacrifice things for the betterment of the team. And if we do that, we're going to be fine. So, I'm excited to see what happens.
You mentioned Clyde. He came in when the game was still somewhat in doubt.
Yeah.
Scored 8 points in his first 6 or 7
agree.
minutes. Has he just been really consistent in practice?
Yeah, you know what? He's a guy who's, I would say, probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you started to see some things slow down for him a little bit to where he was making better decisions. He's a pretty bright guy. Like he really, and he asks a lot of questions. He's very, like he's been fun that way because he's constantly, and he's not afraid to speak. He's constantly asking questions. He's not afraid to speak. He's not afraid to say what he knows. And because of that, his confidence has grown as he's learned more. So I think you see him a little bit more comfortable every time he plays, just because, again, things slow down because he has a better feel for what's going on. And there'll be certain games will be better for him than others, but those were big shots, 2 big threes and a great drive down the lane and laid one in. So it was good to see.
You were at least a little familiar with the Stroman kid in
Right.
South Carolina. How difficult is he to keep out of the lane?
He's a good player, and Bob runs some good things where they get him flips and stuff into downhill driving that can be difficult. And obviously, you got some guys on the perimeter, Barkley, that can really shoot it, and drew fouls against us, and so some of it's a combination of having talented players with you. But he's one of those guys that doesn't play super fast, but he's a little bit like Marquise in that he's got a little herky-jerky to his game. He knows how to use his body. He's also an older guard. He's been in college several years. I thought he played well for them today.
Dante talked about how close this team is away from basketball. How does that help them when they get on the court?
Well, I think it helps just from the standpoint of wanting to make sacrifices for each other. You know what I mean? And be committed to each other and listening and all just kind of moving in the same direction with the same type of goal. And you don't have to be best friends to be on the same team, but it certainly helps when you like all the guys around you and want to spend time away from basketball together. And again, I've said this before, that Dante Grantham is one of the most liked players I think I've coached, certainly at Clemson. And he's done an unbelievable job helping to lead this team because of his personality, because of the way guys in our program feel about him. He's very genuine, very caring guy, and I think that comes out with how he speaks when he's speaking about the team and the program.
Earlier today, Coach Sweeney was asked about your team and talked about how impressed he is with them and the chemistry and all. What does that mean to you to hear Dabo, give your team that kind of praise?
Yeah, I'm certainly, we love it. We're huge football fans. We watch games all the time when we're, meeting for a night meeting. It's always around a Clemson football game. We're never going to meet, while the game's going on or do anything like that. So we go to most of the games. We love those guys. We appreciate how much they've done for our school, and obviously we've benefited from that. So we're, super close with their staff. Constantly are sending texts back and forth to each other, encouraging each other, and talking about things with each other. And so obviously I'm, love to hear that those guys are all in with our team. And we're very appreciative when their staff, which a bunch of them come to games, their players come to games. And I think that's what, that's what makes Clemson special. It's that kind of family atmosphere that, everybody talks about, but I think very few schools really have it. I don't think it's that genuine. And I think guys act like they're friends with their other coaches and colleagues. But, we really work at it here. And that's ever since I got here with Dabo and Jack Leggett. And I could go on and on. I mean, I'm Mike Newton, Eddie Ridwanski, all the baseball guys. I mean, we spend time. I mean, John, tennis guys were right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just, I think there's a genuine, appreciation for each other. And it's something that I don't take for granted. And, so it's something that we really enjoy.
Do you expect to be ranked in the next poll?
Don't worry. That doesn't matter to us. Whatever happens. problems happen. Thanks, guys. Have a great